what up, sports fans all over the world? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. Here with my guys, the Horsemen, Alan Costas, Zion Zenith. Y'all know what time it is. It's the Premium Takes Podcast.
Premium Takes back in your life on another Thursday afternoon. Thank you, Mac, for that great intro as always. Thank you, Adam. Love showing up. Love to talk sports with you guys. A lot of things happening in the world of free agency frenzies on its way. Yes, we're going to cover the Giants. Yes, we're going to cover all around the league. We're going to cover the whole NFL for you guys. But what we're going to do first is history has been made this past week, and it's from a guy that you won't even think of him as like a true scorer, a guy that can really score that at least like average 30. You know, he doesn't even get that. He's usually a center, a big man that really protects the rim and gets other people the ball. But that being said, a historic night for Bam Adebayo out of, yes, your truly's own Miami Heat, putting up 83 points. So before we talk about free agency, I think this is a topic that we're going to have to cover. But before we do, we just want to say welcome in, Coach Ed. Thank you so much for being here, my brother, a member of Big Blue Crew. That being said, I have a lot to say on this, being that I'm a Miami Heat fan, but I'm going to pass the mic over to my co-host. My co-host is first. I want to get their opinion, being that he surpassed one of the GOATs, my favorite growing up in Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Big Allen Iverson fan, one of my favorites as well, but Kobe was right there. And for someone in this generation to do what he did and get 83, a lot to debate on how he got that 83. We're going to cover it, and then we're going to get into free agency. So let's talk Bam Adebayo. Let's begin with you, Adam. What you think about the 83 points? What do you want to get into, my friend? Let's get it.
Well, welcome, chat. I want to tell you this 83 points is history, right? That's what I call it. And I'm not into the minutia that's going on right now. And what I mean by that is like everyone's, oh, well, Kobe did better. And this guy, 83 points is 83 freaking points. Can we give the guy a damn rose? Like every time somebody does something good, we're like, well, we got to poo-poo that shit. Somebody throws 500 yards. Well, Joe Montana would have done it better. Like I understand Joe Montana was great. I understand Kobe Bryant was great. You know, but this guy, like you said, is a center who doesn't normally do this shit. And, you know, I think they're hating on him because of who he is. Bam Adebayo. It's not like Anthony Edwards or the dude from the Wemby from San Antonio who could easily do that himself. It's not like it's Steph Curry who's done it. It's some random guy who, let's be honest, is not necessarily a scorer, and everyone's like, well, he went like 22 of 43, like, oh, still like good. I'm like, so what? He's on damn near 40%, and we're complaining? Like I don't understand. Like, this is a guy that's a center by trade. Am I correct? That's where he plays, power forward, center, right?
Absolutely.
He got a lot of his shots. He got a lot of his shots from the perimeter. Not like he was dunking on cats. I mean, sure, Shaq probably could have done this back in the day. Yeah, granted, in this new NBA, I get it. I get all that. I am not shitting on that. You know, I'm not telling you that you should not compare him. What I'm saying is give the guy his flowers, because this guy may never in the history of the NBA again ever do this again. This may be his only 15 minutes of fame. Like when we go down the pantheons of history in the next decade, right? And this guy's out of the league, and somebody gets close to 80, and they're gonna be like, oh, remember that game, Adebayo in 2026? It's gonna be like 2046, and they're gonna be like, remember that game in 2026? That guy, who is he? Oh, Adebayo. But because he's not a big name, I think that's where he's getting a lot of more hate and backlash, because his teammates were involved. So let me get this straight. A team where we're supposed to have camaraderie and supposed to support one another and build everybody up, sees their guy is hot and having a great night shooting wise, they're not going to try to feed into what's going on. They're missing shots on purpose. Hey, listen, how about the other team grab a damn rebound? Huh? How about the other team stop him from scoring 83 points? We always talk about 83 points. The other team could have done it. And I'm not going to compare Kobe and this guy, because I know Kobe is an all-time great. Okay, and I don't think it's fair to compare a guy for an all-time great. Now, did they both have performances? 81, yes. Kobe's probably is better. I'm going to give everybody that right now. So get off my damn back about that. But what I'm saying is, let this guy Adebayo have his 15 minutes of fame, because I don't know if he's ever going to do this again. I don't even know if he's going to come close to scoring 80 points again. Probably not, right? And the fact that he's on Miami, where they're not featured as a team that's like representing the East, this could be his biggest highlight of the season. And what will happen, it'll be like a fart in church. It'll pass and we'll be like, oh, shit. And next thing you know, 5 or 6 years go by, this guy's out of the NBA or something like that because now he's playing in the G League, and you're going to be like, oh, this guy scored 83. I can't believe it. Debate it then. Right now in the present, let him have his flowers. That's all I got to say really about it.
Yeah, and I will say this before Mac makes his point. He's been on the Olympic roster. He's been an all-star. He is one of the top 5 centers in the league. And maybe he's not your average scorer, but 83 points is 83 points. So no matter which way he got there, he's dealing with Norman Powell out. He's dealing with Tyler Hero out. He's dealing with Wiggins out. Like he is the best. This is Bam averaged anywhere from like 19 to 20 points per game because we don't really consider him as a scorer, right? We have all these other shooters. And when Jimmy came, it was supposed to be Jimmy. The big three of the time was supposed to be Jimmy, himself, and Tyler. Obviously, Jimmy now left, and Bam needed to really take control. And I love the fact that Eric let him stay in the game. His highest scoring game, correct me, I could be wrong, correct me in the chat if I am, was I believe 44 points. That was his highest scoring game. But to top it, almost damn near double it, and to do it in a night where I don't give a fuck if you're in high school, if you're playing college ball, 83 points is 83 points. And I don't give a fuck if it's against the shittiest team, one of the shittiest teams in the league, in the Washington Wizards. Last time I checked, that's still an NBA team. Last time I checked, Alex Sawyer was still on that team. He was a big time up and comer draft prospect, big time. Oh, he's gonna come in the league and dominate. He was out there. I believe Caliberry was out there. They had notable NBA players out there. Yes, the Washington Wizards suck because of their chemistry, but at the end of the day, Bam is on the floor with damn near fucking bench players and third string players, and obviously he has Jokic and he has our draft picks. But at the end of the day, like when he gets fucking 32 points in the fucking first quarter, of course you're gonna feed the guy. And what Adam said, Giannis said as well. When you look back in history, no one's gonna be remembering how he got that 83. They're only going to be remembered in the 83. We can talk about the 60s when Wilt Chamberlain is playing against fucking nobodies and has 5+, 70+ games and 100 points. We can talk about that when he's playing against scrubs. No one's going to remember how he got there. They're just going to remember that he got there. And I love that Adam brought it up. I'm going to let Mac finish, and then I'll make my final take on the matter, and then we'll move on to free agency. Go right ahead, Mac. What's your take on it?
I mean, look. I'm right there with y'all from the standpoint of can't hate on 83 points. That's just ridiculous. I was working with a guy earlier today that was kind of hating on his 83 points, and I'm like, this dude was a big Kobe fan, big Lakers Kobe fan, whatnot. But still, I mean, you can't just disregard 83 points no matter how he came across it. But I mean, you look at the numbers and you want to be technical, sure. Was Kobe's 80+ point game a more efficient game, shooting and whatnot? Yes. But of course, Kobe is a far superior shooter. You know what I mean? But you look at Bam's stat line that night. I mean, this guy, he was getting it done, man. I mean, 20 for 43 from the field and 7 of 22 from three-pointers. The fact that he's jacking up 22 fucking threes is already wild enough anyway, but he knocked down 7 of them. And then he took 43 trips to the line. 43, I mean,
that's
43,
insane.
43
that's
foul shots. And they made 36 of them.
That's insane. That's insane. Like people, I don't mean to stop you there, Mac, but think about that. You go to the line 43 times, you have 40 fucking points you can get just from the free throw line itself, right? And he hit him 36 of those points from there. And that's just, people are like, oh, well, you know, how would he get the points? Well, if they're fucking fouling him and let him go to the line, I'm sorry, let you finish.
And and like you said, he's cashed in. That's a great percentage right there for the night. 36 to 43. That's pretty damn good right there. So, like you said, he almost did get 40 points right at the free throw line. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can't hate on that, man. But what Kobe did was also just a sensational night, man. As I got his numbers in front of me,
he's not to take away from Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe, that's on his night, 28 of 46, 7 of 13 from the 3-point line. And was his free throw percentage? And 18 to 20 from the free throw line. So, I mean, as you can see, that clearly, yes, a lot more of an efficient performance to get to that 80 points.
But he's a shooter.
Still can't. Yeah, but you can't knock Bam's 83, man. I mean, and you can't really sit here, like you said, it's not fair to be sitting here comparing him to one of the great all-time greats. I mean, Bam is one of the current right now. He's one of the current, really, really good players in this league right now, but he's not even remotely in a conversation of a GOAT conversation like Kobe is, So at the end of the day, man, just like you said, I just get the kid his roses, man. This is gonna most likely be the highlight of his career, let alone this season. That's his highlight of his career. This is something that is going to go down in the record books. It's going to be a little article up in the NBA Hall of Fame somewhere. Whether he's actually in there or not, this story of this game is going to be up in there because it's history.
It'll be a trivia question now. When you go to trivia night, they're going to ask you the question, who's the guy that scored 83 points on whatever night? And you're going to be like, oh, Kobe Bryant? And because you're not going to know because you're going to think of the stars. And I think, one of the guys in the chat said Jordan 63 at Boston Garden is better. Of course it is because it's against Bird and that Boston team. I understand the magnitude of that 63-point game. This is the NBA. This is the NBA's fault if you don't like the product that's out there. Okay? If you don't like the product that's out there, then you blame the NBA. I can't be mad at a guy who scored 83 points in a damn game that they built this way. The Washington Wizards are tanking so they can get the damn first overall pick. So, of course, they're not going to play anybody and do anything, right? Because they want to get a lottery pick. But then the NBA has all these rules now where everybody can shoot and all these big men can do whatever. And a friend of mine said, well, Steph Curry at like 70 and Luka Doncic at 74. I'm like, yeah, but it's not 83. I get it. It's not 83. And the fact
that Luka is a shooter and Steph is the best shooter of all time. You know what I'm saying? So come on.
Right. So, and no one's taking into consideration the position, right? This guy is a center, okay? A center and a power forward, and he's a solid player, but you don't think of those guys to be prolific scorers, like unless they're Karl Malone or, Tim Duncan or something like that, where you're a guy you expect day in and day out to be that good, right? Because of that. And I understand the flooring is different, the spacing is different in the NBA now than it was back in the Jordan days. I understand all that. But it's like comparing somebody in the era of football like Jim Brown and saying, well, Jim Brown's not as good as Emmitt Smith, but Emmitt Smith had more games. Like, so everything gets out of context when you go through different generations, right? So right now, 83 points, we haven't seen that in fucking 20 years. Last time it was done is in 2006 by Kobe Bryant. And it's like 20 years later where we saw a team score 83. Now, Anthony Edwards, if it's so easy, by all means, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Wemby, I'm calling you guys out. If it's so easy, and I'm not saying that they called this guy out. I'm just saying, if it's so easy to do it, go do it. Go score 84. And then this will be a moot point, and Bam Adebayo will just be another footnote in the history books of the NBA. But I think the reason he's getting a lot of flack is because his name is Bam Adebayo and not Anthony Edwards or something like that. If this was LeBron James, you know how many people would be glossing over this and telling me how good LeBron James is over Jordan? Well, he scored 83. Jordan never scored 83. What are you talking about? We would have that debate. Bam Adebayo, you don't even know who the fuck that guy is until he scores 83 points. You know what I'm saying?
In that Bam is him in the NBA. Like casuals may not know his name, but Bam is definitely him in the NBA when it comes to center. But when it comes down to what you said, I absolutely agree. Everybody's rezzing up. Everybody's rezzing up. Devontae Mitchell when he drops that 70 a couple years back, right? Everybody that Adam mentioned, including who I just mentioned, Mitchell, everybody that Mac mentioned, they're shooters. They're the main focus. They get the ball. the offense runs through them. If you think about it, when Tyler's healthy, when Norman's healthy, the offense runs through them. You know, that's why you can see a player like Michael Porter Jr. play with Jokic. The offense runs through Jokic and Murray. Then he goes signed to another team, and he's now featured, and now he's putting up points. To do this against an NBA team, number one, is impressive, no matter if they're tanking or not, right? But to do it in a matter where, yeah, everybody knows by the time you get to like 70, everybody knows you're chasing it. Everybody knows that. And for the Wizards to even double team him, triple team him at times, and he's still able to get to the free throw line and make those shots. Think about that. To be able to chase down, and he said it himself. He grew up a Kobe fan. You know, he respects Mamba. You know, when you get to shooting those shots, you know how composed you have to be in a matter, and no one's talking about the stamina it takes to even shoot that much shots. Think about that.
I think people are missing the point. That's all I was. I think people are missing the point that you're trying to make. And sorry, I know Mac got a point to make, so I'll be quick. And that is, we're just praising that he did 83 points. I don't care. Yes. I don't necessarily need a comparison of who did what better. Yes. It's not about better for me. It's just 83 points. I'm just praising a record being broken. You know, if we want to get into the minutia and all that other bullshit, fine. We can have a debate, and we can sit here and debate every record that gets broken from here on out in every game, right? In every season. Well, they had 83 games. Well, they shoot more 3-pointers. Well, they do this. Oh, well, the ball is juiced in baseball, so it shouldn't count, you know, for the home runs because, you know, there's a post-steroid era and all that. Like, just admire that history was made and just let it be. And then you can debate it when he's long gone after the NBA. You can debate it when you're going, because nobody else was talking about when's the last time you were talking about the 81-point game? Were you talking about it? No, nobody's talking about shit. Occasionally, maybe when Luka was there last year, they might have mentioned it because he was like 74. But you don't really.
When Mitchell was there,
and then here we are. Now, a guy actually breaks it, and we're like, well, you know, somebody could have done it better. Anyways, go on, Mac.
Oh, I just wanted to come back up to this one real quick because you know that was my era right there. That was my era. And of course not. Of course not. This would not have happened against the Bad Boy Pistons because
they play defense.
They had people like Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn, yeah. Couldn't think of his name for a second. And Dennis Rodman. He wasn't Dennis Rodman that he evolved into, but he was still a tough motherfucker on defense. And this course wouldn't have happened to that team. I mean, that's just like there's no way. They weren't allowed. You didn't see that happen back then, period. You didn't see 80-point games by anybody back then. Because defense was just a lot more physical, so it wasn't going down. I mean, point blank and period. That's definitely my era. The Bad Boy Pistons was a fun team to watch because they used to bully the hell out of everybody. They took people's hearts.
I got the second version of the Bad Boys. I got the Ben Wallace, the Rasheed Wallaces of the world, that crazy Pistons team. I didn't get to watch the Bad Boys. I was young, but I didn't get to see them, and that's why they made the Jordan rules. But you know, I'm not gonna be as much of a hater on this as everybody else is. I just enjoyed the guy scored 83 points, right? The Bad Boy Pistons, different era, wouldn't have done any. They wouldn't. Hell, nobody in the NBA would survive the Bad Boy Pistons.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say.
We're talking about the Bad Boy Pistons. Yeah, of course they're not going to let it happen. Those guys used to break fucking noses and shit. You used to dunk on the lane. Guess what? You were getting fucking kicked in the nuts the next time you went up for and they didn't give a shit. They didn't care. They're like, oh, you're going to foul me? Okay. And they would do things like they would do hard-ass picks and shit, and they were making you feel that and they wore you down. They made Jordan rules for a reason. Now, they don't even have Jordan rules. It's fucking two-hand touch out there. You can't touch a guy with a fingernail that's down without being a foul. And the fact that these guys can shoot from a mile away makes it even more, I wouldn't say impressive, but that more intriguing that a guy who is this tall can score 83 points when I got guys like Steph Curry shooting 90-foot buckets from one of the other side of the rim, right? That little, you talk about a guy who wouldn't make it in the 90s Pistons, that little fucking, water bug, he would have never made that shit in fucking the 90s. Bill Laimbeer and all those guys would have crushed Steph Curry. So, I mean, like when we bring that era up, all we're really doing is, and I just want to get this out there, I'm just praising somebody having a good night, like having a good day at the office. High-fiving a guy for having a good day at the office. Now, on Thursday, on Friday when you come back in, fucking get to work. But have a night, here you go. Drinks on me tonight. You know what I mean? Like, we always hate, and move the goalposts and shit. And it just kind of fired me up today that this guy is getting so much flack for winning the game and scoring 80-something points. And not only that, his team actually blew the other team out. It wasn't like he scored 80 points and then they scored 90 and won the game. They scored 80 points, and then they had like 125 or some shit, some crazy shit. Like, he blew the team out as well. So, shout out to Washington not playing defense.
Shout out to Washington not playing defense at all. Absolutely. I just want to say shout out to the chat, man. We have a lot of newcomers in the chat. I see you, Coop Breeze. Thank you. First time seeing you. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well. And shout out to No Mets. We had 2 Giants join. When we was talking, we had G Nation Talking Sports join as well. Now I have been talking to the boys. You know how you go on these talk shows and they bring on your Danilowskis and all these different characters and different hosts. We thought about bringing on a G Nation on some of these shows to kind of get his insight too. So you can tune in on Premium Takes, and you're going to see special guests appear on multiple episodes as we go throughout the summer, as we get closer to the kickoff of the 2026 NFL season. And that being said, we are going to move on to the football Giants. We're going to talk about say that one more time, Adam?
Great segue.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to move on to the New York Giants. We're going to cover the NFL, free agencies, but what we're going to focus on here is we're not New York Giants fans, man, and we've been making a lot of hell of good moves. So that being said, I'm going to just pull up a list, and we're going to just talk about each free agent. I think that's the best way to do it. And then at the end of it, if there's anything else you guys want to say before we move on to the whole NFL as a broad, that's your time to mention it about the Giants and what they're doing. And obviously use your time to mention, as we're going over this list, use the time to mention, I am lost track of my words. I'm sorry, guys. Mention anything about the Giants. Basically, that's Giants related. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know why I said that, but let's go over the list. I absolutely been loving what the Giants has been doing. Sorry for that stumble right there, guys. But yeah, that being said, Isaiah Likely signed with the New York Giants. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mac. What you think about the signing?
What, Isaiah Likely? Love the signing of Isaiah Likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he's going to bring to this offense is going to be something special, man. I think this guy can do so many different things on the field, man. And when you pair him up with the skill set Jackson Dart has, the ability he has to extend plays and keep things alive, Isaiah Likely is that guy that can get downfield and make things happen, man. And then even in the run game, man, this guy get our guys open, busting a nice run open. He's going to be blocking down the field, man. This is what he does. So this is just a great signing, man. People have been trying to, talk about, look what his numbers are. He's not that. He ain't really on it. Well, his numbers were that because he had to split time with Mark Andrews, and it wasn't really an equal split either, So he's kind of like, he reminds me kind of like Martellus Bennett years ago. He was on Dallas, stuck on Dallas, not really getting that time, but he knew he had that talent, and he had that one great year with the Giants. And we couldn't even afford to retain him. He ended up losing him to the Bears in free agency. So that's what he kind of reminds me of something like that a little bit. And he's a guy that just the talent is there, and he's going to bring something real special to the New York Giants offense, man. I am excited and I can't wait.
I love that. Adam?
I absolutely love this signing as well. He was one of my top tight ends to get. It was Kyle Pitts, and then it was Isaiah Likely, and then David Njoku, and then my dark horse was the kid from Tennessee, if you wanted Titans. But I thought Njoku was going to come here because I didn't think we were going to get Likely, because I just thought he would be too high. His potential is very good. Okay, I don't want people to look at the numbers and get skewed. When you're predominantly putting in Mark Andrews and you're doing a lot of heavy personnel, remember they did a lot of 12 personnel, and you have to block and do a lot of those things, and you're not necessarily the first read. that's what happens. The kid is 25 years old. You're paying for his potential. He's already shown you that he can play in big games. Now he's going to be probably the number 2 option, if not 1B, with Malik Neighbors. And you're getting a similarity to that Ravens offense, if you see it, right? They have Malik Neighbors. They have Isaiah Likely, that's like Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. And then they had a third complimentary receiver in like DeAndre Hopkins or anybody of that ilk. Hopkins wasn't the dominating force, but he was a reliable set of hands out there. And then they had a running back in the backfield with Ricard. So this offense is starting to shape out to do some things. And I think Jackson Dart loves the tight end. He's going to love this guy. Mac is a fantasy guy. I would think that Mac is going to be looking at Isaiah Likely very early on in his drafts come this fantasy football season, because I do believe Isaiah Likely is going to have a breakout year. We're talking 800-plus yards and 6 touchdowns, something along those lines. I just feel he can do that. And this is why you don't pay Wan'Dale Robinson, because he can do a lot of the things Wan'Dale was doing inside and outside. He can play in the slot. He can play move tight end. He can do inline stuff. Plus, when you have Theo Johnson, you can detach him and do a lot more things with him. And he's going to be like what they were trying to use Darren Waller. I know people don't like that name, but what they're trying to use with Darren Waller, where he's one of the major weapons you have. And as Malik Neighbors comes back around, I was going to get into football shape early on. I could see them, going to Likely and getting those underneath routes and matchups with linebackers on the inside. Then he's going against those short corners in the slot. And then, of course, in the red zone, he's an absolute nightmare with his size and his jumping ability in the back of the end zone. And I hope that they'll be able to utilize him. And we actually have a legit red zone threat. So this is pretty good I think pretty good signing to start.
Yeah, I absolutely love this signing as well. You guys all hit the points I was going to go at. One thing I want to emphasize is red zone. Absolutely. Looking for him in the red zone. Another thing I want to emphasize is blocking. 12 personnel. You guys mentioned that. I absolutely think this is a bomb signing, because it's a John's guy. It's going to help him establish his culture in the locker room. So I absolutely love this signing. That being said, we have this is probably, honestly, outside of Tremaine, this is my favorite signing right here. I think this guy is going to 1 pound of nose, physical football, that power 1 game that Patrick recorded. Right up there with Kyle as the best fullback in the league, a league that moved on from the fullback position. No, we're not going to. The Giants are not going to. Power 1 all the way. I absolutely fucking love this signing. My God. Go right ahead, Adam.
I like the signing as well. I'm not as ecstatic, but I do appreciate what he does. I like what he's done. I'm tempering the enthusiasm, because it's just like, I like the signing. It's a solid player. It's nothing that I'm going to cry home about. What I do love about it, though, is I think the fullback position, I don't know why it's dying, because I think a lot of people are trying to phase it out. And if you're watching what's happening right now, running games are winning football games now. You look at what the Kenneth Walker did with the Seahawks. You look at the Eagles one with their running back and Barkley. He had a great game and a great run game. So to have a downhill run game with Cam Scatterboo and with the way they're trying to build some things is really quite interesting. And if you think about it, to me, this gives a little bit of a nugget of maybe getting a Jeremiah Love type in here, because imagine Jeremiah Love at 4.38 when you're at the combine, following a fullback of this ilk up the gut into the hole right behind this guy and making a move. It's really going to show the offense. And plus, he can catch the ball every once in a while on a dump off. He's going to be that little outlet for Jackson Dart when needed. And, oh, by the way, Jackson Dart doesn't need to run any goal line plays, because just give this guy the ball. And I think what you're seeing a lot of is you're seeing a lot of way to embarrass my take, my God. You're killing the stream, man. Okay, but okay, I get it, Mac. It's going to be your turn. I'll land the damn plane. Jeez. Anyways, it's going to help Jackson Dart not take as many unnecessary hits, because you can give him the ball on 3rd and 1 and 4th and short. Mac?
Look, I like the signing as well. I like it because it's indicating exactly what kind of football team we're trying to be right now this year. It's bringing that physical back to New York, man. So I'm not like overly ecstatic either about it. At the end of the day, I respect it. I like it. I like the fact that we're actually building an identity.
Offense, yeah.
Something to look forward to, man. And like you said, man, it's another guy that's just going to add to the power of football that's coming back to New York
culture
to New York, man. Yeah, the culture, man. And somebody else brought up another point that he's just probably one of those guys that'd be a good locker room guy too, as well. Just a good leader in the locker room, a veteran, been around John Harbaugh, already knows, just help get everybody acclimated to the John Harbaugh way. You know what I mean? So I like it.
I love it. I love it. Alrighty, let's move on to Tremaine Edmonds. I absolutely love this hire as well. I know like these are all not super big names, but these are all culture building players, and these are all players that can come into the game and people's gonna respect. When Tremaine, for a while, everybody could run up the middle on us. Everybody could just do whatever they want in the middle of the field on us. When you have a linebacker like Tremaine Edmonds in the middle of the field, opposing quarterbacks are going to have to respect him. He's fast. He can move around a lot, and he's going to be a piece when it comes to what we have up front. Absolutely love this signing. We'll love to hear you guys' takes on it. Go right ahead, Adam.
Tremaine Edmonds, I don't love it. I like it. I love Devin Lloyd. I would have liked Devin Lloyd. I think he was more of a bit faster and a bit more downhill, but I'm not complaining with Tremaine Edmonds. I think he's a solid linebacker for what we need. I think what they're going to be doing, he brings some leadership, some coverage ability, able to do some things in the middle. Is he the most stout linebacker? No, but does he make plays? Yes. You saw that last year with the return that should have been a touchdown, but of course they called it back because he was touched. Come on, give me a break. He wasn't touched. It was a touchdown, but the gambling got to get it right, so got to make that call. But and he was traded to Chicago for a reason, or signed with Chicago for a reason, and they're letting him go because of money. It's not like necessarily his play was egregious, but obviously he didn't want to take a pay cut, and that let him out the door. And here he is with us, and I like it because it establishes a leader on defense, which we haven't had. Like everyone's going to be looking at him and knowing, okay, you're the guy, you're the signal caller, you're the tone setter on the defense, and I hope that he can bring some of that and allow our defensive line. I think with our defensive line, he's going to have a solid year, right? With Dexter taking up some of the space and, the edges kind of taking up some of these linemen, he'll be able to sift through the garbage and make some plays. So I like it.
What's your thoughts on it, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I also like it a lot. I mean, I like the way he plays the game of football. So, that's just that's part of what it is for me with him. He's one of those kind of guys that I just like the way he plays. He's a plugger, man. He's gonna go in there, he's gonna lay the lumber on you, man. And he just plays football the way it's meant to be played. And I think he's a great leader on defense. He's still a lot younger than people realize, considering how long he's been in the league already.
He's in his prime.
Yeah, so I love the move, man. I think he'll be a great leader on that side of football. Depending on which way we go in the draft, we potentially do bring a Sonny Styles in there. Had like him, Sonny Styles, Edmonds, and I mean, look, I like another guy we're talking about a little bit that we re-signed. If he comes back healthy, I mean, we got a pretty formidable linebacker, set of linebackers there, man, and I like it. I like it a lot, man. I think this is another guy that can come in right away and be a great leader on this football team, something this football team needs. Leaders.
Absolutely. And as much as I love my Polynesian brother, Musao, he was never a starting caliber player. And Tremaine Edmonds is definitely a starting caliber player. So definitely an upgrade on that position. And then we did bring back McFadden as well. And then obviously, yes, we'll see what happens in the draft. And alrighty, this is probably my favorite signing of them all. And I know I've been high on everybody, but this is probably when I'm the highest. And it's just because the discount, man. The discount we got for him is absolutely amazing. I'm going to pass the mic right back over to Matt. What you got about Jermaine Illuminor?
Loved it. I was ecstatic when I said that. So he re-signed, and not only re-signed, but re-signed pretty much gave us a hometown discount, man. This guy could have, I'm pretty sure that he could have went out and made a little bit more money somewhere else, man, if he decided to walk. And it shows that he really wants to be here. He wants to be a part of this. And I like the season he had a year ago, and it was great to keep him here. And we got the bookends a tackle still right now. Him and Andrew Thomas. I loved it, man. Absolutely loved getting the Luminor back. It was a big deal to me being able to not let him walk out the door. I think the New York Giants did something right for a change in that regard. Usually we that's what we do. Let the good guys walk out the door. You know what I mean? But this time we hung on to a guy we really, really needed to, because the line with him and Andrew Thomas anchoring that line, as long as you get that interior tightened up, man, New York Giants football is back. It's back.
Big facts. What you think about this signing, Adam?
It's a ho hum for me. I mean, I like the Luminor, but I thought they could always upgrade. But he came back and he was a little cheaper, so that works out for us. Get to save some money. A guy who's solid or built some continuity on that line. So you can't be mad when you sign your own. And you got to give credit where credit's due. Unfortunately, Joe Shane finding this guy and bringing him in. Unfortunately, it's Joe Shane who brought him in, but hey, he gets signed here again. And it's just one less problem you have to worry about on the offensive line in terms of filling a need. So, nothing spectacular. Jermaine Oluminor, you're here for the next couple of years, so hopefully it works out and you play better than the last few games of the year. Play more like you did at the beginning of the year and not at the end, and we'll have no issues.
Well, yeah, I do agree with that. He did have a couple of duds at the late in the season. I don't know if that was any kind of injury.
I don't know if it was like packing in or something.
Yeah, but it was he had a rough couple of games late. I do agree.
I love the aspiration that he has of being the best at his position. And now that he's paid and he knows that he can go out there and perform and even earn another contract eventually, I think this is like we all said, this is a steal.
Well, these are the type of signings you need, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like low risk, high reward signings. That's what Luminor was, right? You hoped you got that at a Runyon, but that didn't really work out the same way. But the Luminor came in and outperformed his contract and deserved a little bit of bump for days when you do that. And so he got it. So,
Right up there with you, Lou. Let's go. All right. Can't get too excited, though. It's all on paper. You know what happens when it's on paper. But hopefully this time is a little bit different.
11 games is hard to win,
Yeah. That being said, though, Jason Sanders, I do like this signing, too. I mean, it's been a while since we had I get it. He was injured last year, but it's been a while since we had a consistent kicker, a kicker that you can go in there, you can trust him. Anything under 40, this guy is almost center bullseye, is it? His career over 50 is pretty good. Kicker from Miami. Had to do my research about him, but that being said, I do like this signing. It's a position that we needed to fix in the kicker position, and I like this signing. What you think about it, Adam?
I think it's just you have a kicking competition on your hands. I mean, right now you don't know where Gano is, and I'm with Alex. I like what Sauls did last year. I think he earned himself definitely a shot. And Sanders does have potential, right? Because he's a fresher leg, he's younger. I don't want to see Graham Gano here anymore. Listen, bro, no. You're older. I don't know what it is with this obsession with these old kickers. Like we want guys that are damn near in their 40s. They can't get out of bed. They pull a groin. Like what are we talking about here, right? So I mean, I'm in my 40s. I know how fucking it feels. They want to go kick a ball 70 yards for you to win a game. Fucking, you must be out your damn mind. That's what happened. Fucking Graham Gano tried to kick a fucking 90-yard field goal, blew out his fucking hamstring and his groin, and that's it. He tried to boom a kick down the fucking field, and his old ass just said, "Nope, not happening anymore." So I'm just happy that we're getting rid. I'm just saying. I'm happy that we're getting rid of the AARP kickers, and let the young guys do it. Let the young guys do it. And it's a cheap signing too.
Yes,
I'm right there, obviously, with you. My fault. Right there with you, but just it's upgrade. As far as I'm concerned, it's upgrade because get Graham Gano out of here, and I'm fine. I'm definitely would support the open kicking competition between Sauls and Sanders, let the best guy win, man. Because just we don't need to include Graham Gano. Let's move on. Let's definitely be moving.
We can make a trade. Chris Bosworth. You know what happened? You don't want to happen. Remember that one year the Giants had two good kickers and they fucking cut them both? I think it was Brandon McManus and Chris Bosworth, and we ended up with some bum, I think we had Josh Brown, and we ended up with that guy, the abuser. Great, you got rid of those two guys, fucking home wrecker and a fucking scumbag. Great job, Giants, idiots.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the kicker. I'm not going to act like sit here and be like, get I'm slobbing over a kicker, but
It's not like we signed Brandon Aubrey. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't want to ever.
That's my favorite free agent signing right there. That's my favorite free agent signing. Right there.
I'll let you begin, Mac.
It's my favorite free agent signing right here. I was just like, whoa, we got Evan Neal back. Yippee. Absolutely, baby. Yes, sir. Sign me up for that. You know what I mean? But honestly, all bullshit aside, man. Look, and John Harbaugh, I trust, man. If he thinks he can get something out of him, we'll see. But at the end of the day, let's also remember, number 7 pick overall, or not a few years ago, bro. You just a camp body at this point. You got to earn your way. You might not make it out of camp. It ain't no guarantee. You ain't no spot going to just be given to you. So you better wake the hell up, young man. And this is your last shot for real at any kind of NFL career. So I hope whatever you majored in college, you're ready to go out there and hit that, man. Because honestly, this is it. This is your last chance in the league, period. So whatever you do this spring and summer, you better do it with conviction because your NFL life depends on it, bro. You ain't getting no more shots, I don't think, from anybody else, let alone this New York Giants team. This has definitely got to be your last shot. And like I said, it's only probably just as far as what can you do? You show me in camp. And if it ain't enough, you out of here, bro. You ain't wasting no roster spot on Evan Neal this year if it ain't satisfactory, if he doesn't meet the standards, man.
Well said. That's the first thing that came to my mind too. 25, John seems to like him camp body. Let him compete. Let him see if he can earn his spot. If not, pack your bags, get out of town. I absolutely agree. Adam?
Evan Neal is like a bad rash. Once you think it's gone, it pops up again. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, oh, I thought this shit was gone. All of a sudden you're looking like, oh, wait, there it is again. There it is. That's what Evan Neal is. You think he's gone. You haven't heard from him all season with this mysterious injury. Hasn't played a damn game. I thought about Evan Neal. I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with Evan Neal. And all of a sudden I must have manifested it because they signed him again. They must have seen something like John Harbaugh said. He's like, listen, man, this guy can at least eat donuts. We have a pie eating contest for camp that we would love to him to participate in. He may not make it out of camp at West Virginia, but he sure as hell could be on my team to eat the pies. I mean, look, good luck to you, Evan Neal. I think you have more potential at guard, and if anybody knows about big guards and big offensive linemen, it's John Harbaugh. So, you know, his roster spot is safe for now, I guess, until they draft somebody or you know, the competition heats up. But I will tell you this, Evan Neal, if you show up to camp and there you have one injury and you don't play a damn, you better play like your hair's on fucking fire. You better play football as if you, like Max said, you're never going to play in the league again because that is it. This will be, the rash is going to be gone. We've got the ointment. We've got the treatment in the cabinet. We are ready to go. If we need to, we can get ready to do that quick. And the thing about this signing is it has all the potential to be shitty, and that's what the expectation is probably. But imagine if the light goes on for this guy, right? New coaching staff comes on, fucking John Harbaugh lights that fire because he's like, who got it better than us? Nobody, right? And he's fucking dancing around with John Harbaugh, and this massive man comes in. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. I probably have a better chance of getting hit by a bus than Evan Neal being good at football. But I'm just saying, it's one of those picks where you never know. Maybe he puts it together.
You know, it's funny you said that because I was just getting ready to say something just like that. Like, what if all of a sudden, now that we've been sitting here all banging on the table for this to get a new guard, to get a guard in the free agency, what if fucking Evan Neal just comes in and all of a sudden just realizes,
guard,
I know how to play football. You know what I mean? And like it just all of a sudden ends up being the answer that we've all been looking for in free agency, and we just got him on this little cheap ass 1 year league minimum deal.
That's $1 billion contract the next year. Comes out of nowhere, pancaking guys. Next year, free agency, highest paid guard in the league. Like I could just see that.
I would love to see Paulie Morgan's odds on that shit.
Now. Evan Neal's Evan Neal's probably one of the 8 or 9 listeners in here. He's probably trolling us right now. He's like, I at least got 3 guys on my side on premium takes. I'm gonna show those assholes that I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make something of myself. You know, and I like look. I when he was signed, and we didn't sign any other linemen. I'm like, yo, that's the plan, yo. This was the plan all along. They wanted to sign a big guard for cheap. Hey, Evan Neal, we got one.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, man. Oh my god.
But then again, I don't even think he beats Bobo out in training camp.
Let's be serious. We don't know what's going to expect.
This is going to happen. Lembo's going to be the guard, right? He's going to pull a hammy, and in comes 73. You know, takes the spot away from Membo because we got nobody else. First game against Dallas, he pancakes somebody. So everyone's like, Evan Neal's arrived. Evan Neal's arrived. Evan Neal's arrived.
You know what, guys? But you guys might be onto something. I know this is a joke, but let's think about it. IMG Alabama. Like, what the fuck happened, bro? You went to the most prestigious one of the most prestigious high schools when it comes to football. A fucking athlete school that dedicates everything to make you at your best in IMG. You go to fucking Alabama in the fucking prime, and then what the fuck happened, dude? This is shocking. And hopefully he does something with that. Oh man, that was good. I like this signing. What you guys think about it?
I mean, I'm okay with it, man. Bringing back Isaiah Hodgins, man. I mean, is he like the shit? No, but he's been a solid guy.
Solid, yeah.
For us in our offense, does things we need him to do. Great possession receiver. Go down there, he has pretty good hands, you know. So I like it. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see if he makes it out of camp, you know, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not like I'm not. It's not like a bet. It's terrible signing. You gotta have bodies out there to compete. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? So
absolutely.
What are you gonna do? And you can't. You're just gonna go out there and sign all pro players constantly. You gotta bring regular guys in, guys that come in and compete. You can't, man. And this guy is definitely going to compete, obviously, as we know, because we've seen some really good things from Isaiah Hodgins. So, sure.
I think he makes the roster. Honestly, I think I like his game plan. Now he's not going to be a center ripping on this offense, but he's going to get some snaps. And I think when he's on the field, he produces for us, and that's what I like. What's your thoughts on it, Adam?
I mean, I don't mind Isaiah Hodgins. I've always liked him here. I thought he's a solid player, and he fits what the offense does. A big-bodied receiver you can probably use in the red zone. If you look at what Harbaugh does, he doesn't shy away from using guys' height in the red zone. Unlike Brian Dable and the other offensive coordinators we've had here, he's going to want to throw it up to guys. Right, Wandale. Right. This is the anti-Wandale. I mean, look at this. Look at our guys. We have the only guy is Austin, is Calvin Austin or whatever he is, and he's taller than Wandale Robinson.
Calvin Austin,
look,
yeah.
I know you guys love Wandale Robinson. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm sorry, Wandale. You know, I wasn't a fan of yours, but you can go be somebody else's number 2 down there. This has nothing to do with Wandale. I just like that he fits the big-bodied receiver that they need, a possession receiver, like you said, and a blocking receiver for when they go 12 personnel and they want to take Malik Neighbors out of the game for a little bit more blocking or to deceive how you try to play these games and deceive people. He can be on the field like that. You could take a tight end off and add him on. Again, when I say Malik Neighbors, he's going to be coming back from a knee injury. They're going to be doing a lot of 12 personnel with the backside of the backfield. He's a guy that can fit that mold. And it looks like they're going receiver by committee until told otherwise. They're going to have Malik Neighbors and a couple other guys. And the other guy that is a free agent, but not really a free agent, is Darius Slayton. You know, he just never leaves. He's just like that relative.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Still lives in the basement. You're like, hey man, you came for a barbecue and you never left. You know, that's Darius Slayton. He came for a barbecue and still living in your basement. So
yeah, I remember when he did that video on Giants.com and he was talking about his best football team and he was 7 years old and they had the best football team. Like, we don't give a fuck, dude. Do something now. Do something in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the fact that he survived so much, Darius Slayton, I mean, it's like you got to give credit to a guy like him. You know, he's like
he can just catch the fucking ball.
He's like a barnacle, yo. You ever heard of a barnacle that they connect to rocks on the sea that just kind of sit there on the rocks? Like, that's what he is. Fucking Darius Slayton's a fucking barnacle.
So good. Oh, Eddie, what do you guys feel about Michael? I like this. He got hurt, obviously, the first game for us last season. And when he's on the field, he's productive. I think he could be a good piece in the system. What you guys feel about it? Go right ahead, Matt.
Obviously, once again, I like Mike McFadden. I thought he was really He was turning up. He was a guy that was getting better each and every year. And then the injury last year in the first game of the season, that just was a setback, unfortunately. Bring him back here
Michael. What's up, Michael?
On a 1 year prove it deal, pretty much. See if he can stay healthy. See if he can, reduce some of that same energy that he was doing, like the season in the 2024 season, and see if he can get some of that energy, channel some of that energy. And I think he's a solid piece in the linebacker room. I mean, and is he anything spectacular, future Hall of Fame or anything like that? No. But he's a solid guy in your linebacker room that will step up, make some tackles. You know what I mean? And actually wrap up, tackle people. Is he's liability in coverage when he's stuck, just paired up on a running back or even a tight end or something like that? He's definitely a liability in that situation. But he's a serviceable player, man. And like I said, I don't mind having him be a part of the linebacker room.
Well said. Go ahead, Adam.
I like him. I think it's a good signing. I think you can pair him with Tremaine Edmonds if you need to, while you get a Sonny Styles up to speed, or the linebacker from Texas or something like that, maybe in the second round, or you trade up. He's a good player. Like, he's a good special team player as well. And these are the signings that people need to realize. Like, you're not always going to sign starters. We don't have to critique a guy to be a starter. We do need depth players and guys that are going to come in, and do their job, whether that's on special teams, whether that's, taking a few plays from whoever the starter is, right? And being that we don't have any starting linebackers on the team, he's a starter until proven otherwise. He's getting first crack at the job right now. This is probably why they didn't go after a Leo Chanel or an Alex Anzalone, because they're like, we have the same kind of player in Micah McFadden, maybe just a touch lower. Like, if you watch McFadden, he's a downhill guy. He does make stops behind the line. I think he was our best linebacker at one point, and then he got injured, which set the tone for the season. That wasn't a event. He got injured on that the Commander game, and the defense never really seemed to be the same again with him. Not that they were great with that when he was in there, but you need these guys, and we've seen guys go down left and right in this league. I need players to step up. I'd rather have a quality backup that's been in the NFL that I know can produce, and then not necessarily a huge liability out there on the field.
Well, I mean, not to just jump on Darius Mursal either, but at the same time, when Micah McFadden went down and Darius Mursal pretty much became that other starter, it was a major drop off there. That's where the issue was. I mean, we don't know how much better the defense could have been with Micah McFadden. I mean, it would have been still pretty bad. I don't think he would have made much more of an impact. But at the same time, it was a big drop off from him to Mursal going out there week in and week out. And I think that was quite noticeable out there on the defense. So, like I said, it's good to have him back.
Absolutely. I love that. All right, guys. And then we got some people getting released. That being said, guys, we did sign Calvin Austin. Let's talk about it. I think that is a good signing. Go ahead, Mac. I'm gonna have you begin.
Have me begin.
Calvin Austin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a solid player. I mean, like, add depth to the receiver room and do things on special teams. So, like, I'm all for it, man. I'm all about it. I was working all day, so I didn't really get to do too much looking into Calvin Austin. I'm not overly familiar with him like that, but so
yeah, I think that's the only.
I did my homework on him. I didn't do my homework on him yet.
Oh, you're good. I know he played for the Steelers. I mean, like, he's a decent receiver. He's not going to be a true number 2, but he's going to go in there and he's going to consistently catch balls. I mean, like, pause. He doesn't have Butterfinger's hand. He's a good fast player. He's kind of like how we like the Robinson. He can take Robinson's spot in a way. Go ahead, Adam. What's your thoughts on Calvin Austin?
Hey, I mean, you liked Wando Robinson. You got Wando Robinson and Calvin Austin for a lot cheaper. He can do a lot of the same things that he can do. He is tough. He has played in some big games with Pittsburgh. And I don't know if he'll be the number 2 receiver, but he'll definitely get some burn on this offense. Because, again, when this offense thrives with play action, and then they do little dink and dunk and drop-offs, right? Okay. So he will be able to, catch a pass and take a little screen pass the other way. Or when you need a home run, you can hit the guy down the seam, Isaiah Likely or Monique Neighbors down the field, when you run that play action game. So I think you're going to see a receiver by committee. He's a solid player to have in your room. I hope he takes snaps away from Darius Slayton. That's what I'm praying. But he also can be a slot receiver or something that Darius Slayton has never done. So if you decide to kick the Barnacle to the bench and move Isaiah Likely to the outside receiver, and then you can put Calvin Austin right there in the slot, he can do some of those things and pick up some first downs and some quick, like they said, the in and out zigzag routes for first downs. He doesn't have to have a lot of catches, but what if he gets a lot of like first down catches, receptions, right? Like, he catches a 5-yard pass for a first down, or he catches another 10-yard, and then you look at the stats, and you're like, oh man, he only had like 30 catches for like 400 yards, and then you realize like a lot of his catches were on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 3 and for first downs, right? So
I love that. Real fast, Adam. You know how you said earlier, I like how you're manifesting it. He didn't say when we draft Styles. He said when we get Styles up to speed. I know everybody been high on Sonny Styles as of late. That being said, another sneaky signing that I'm excited about, man. Former first round pick in 2021, spent some time at the Browns, spent some time at Jacksonville. We have Greg Newsome. I think this guy can come in and compete for that number 2 cornerback spot after Adebo. What's your guys' thoughts on Greg Newsome? I like him as a player. Go right ahead, Adam.
I think this is one of my favorite signings because I think it has the highest reward and the lowest risk, right? Because when you think about it, he's a solid player. It's not like he fell. Jacksonville had a lot of turnover last year, and he was a solid player with him and Akuda down there, and with what's his face over in Cleveland. Sorry, couldn't figure it out. And I just think like you're solid number 2. If he does well, guess what? You have him under a year for a contract, and then next year you can sign him to a bigger deal, and you don't have to reach if you don't need to for a cornerback in the draft. I think he's young enough to be that guy, and I think he's done a lot in the NFL to show me. He tackles well too. I mean, he's 6'1", 97 pounds. He comes downhill. He fucking makes plays. So I like the physical corners that they bring in. Adebo is not horrible, but if you were to, let's just say the Giants were to run out that guy, I'm not worried about Adebo and Newsome out there. Especially Drew Phillips in the slot, even though I don't really like Phillips in the slot, but Phillips in the slot, that's a solid trio of cornerbacks. And then you have Holland, and maybe you have Downs. I'm not a huge
Yes, that's it. Think about that. Holland and Downs. I know you guys love Sonny. I love Sonny too. We're not going to get into this, and I want to take over your
I'd rather have Sonny Styles, but let's just for lack of argument's sake, we'll just say Caleb Downs. And that's a formidable backfield right there. But I do believe if Sonny Styles is there, even if Downs was there, I would have to take Styles just for the need of the position. I already put money in with Tyler Nubin. I put money in with Javon Holland. If you think if you can bring Evan Neal back from the dead, what do you think about Tyler Nubin? Because I'm just saying, you're resurrecting all these old Giant players.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's let Mac make his point on Greg Newsome, and then we'll move on talking about that. That sounds fun. Go ahead, Mac. Not to interrupt you. What's your thoughts on Greg Newsome?
Go ahead, Newsome.
I mean, I think it's it. Like you said, a great signing. Get a guy in here that can definitely add something to the cornerback room, which definitely needs something added to it. We don't know what's going to happen this season coming up. Paulson Adebo needs to step it up, get a little more consistent this year. And Deontay Banks, you all notice, man. I mean, this is obviously, like I said about Evan Neal, this might not quite be your last opportunity in the league, but at the same time, it's damn sure your last opportunity on the New York Giants if you can't get it right this year, bro. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you got guys like you. I mean, now you just bring in Newsome, man. He's going to make you guys work, man. You're going to have to earn it. And like you said, somebody mentioned in the chat, like you said, it's a great signing on a prove-it year, man. For this guy, see if the light bulb can come on, and maybe he might have just found a diamond in the rough.
Evan Neal and Deontay Banks, comeback player, the co-comeback players of the year, guys. That's what's going to happen here. You're going to see these two bums. All of a sudden, the light goes on, and we're going to see Deontay Banks be all world, right?
Let's talk real quick before we get into the other thing, since we talk about. I think it can really happen with Deontay Banks potentially, though. I mean, defensively, this scheme should fit his skill set a little bit better. It should. You know what I mean? what he supposedly is able to do
I'll
best.
take my chances of Neil.
It should. But like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's possible, man. I really think it could be.
Yes, Micah. What Mac is saying, I absolutely agree with you. I agree with Mac what he's saying. I think this game fits.
It's about the scheme with him. I mean, that's what it's been. I feel like with him. I mean, also with some really shitty coaching as well. But at the end of the day,
sucks. What are you talking about?
But at the end of the day, I think he's one of those guys where maybe he can just only do what he can do, and he couldn't do what anything else. You know what I mean? He just couldn't make something else work. He couldn't, and I think he has a shot, man. I think he got a shot. I think he has a shot more than Evan Neal. I put my money on him before I put it on Evan Neal. I'm sorry.
I would put my money on him.
Okay, here we go.
10.
Right now, on Premium Takes, Mac and I, we do the NFC East Roundup show that we do, and we're going to be doing that come training camp soon. Look out for it. Shameless plug. But Mac and I are going to follow the progress. He's going to be on Deontay Banks' team. I'm going to be on Evan Neal's team. And we're going to track the progress every week and have a race of first-round picks to make the team. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these bums duke it out and see which one lands on the team. Mac, are you with me?
Wait, hold on, Adam. Before you make that bet, I want you to really think about what you just said. Do you really want to be on the Evan Neal's team?
Yes, I do. He is motivated. I saw him in the weight room. I saw him.
Oh my God!
I am ready to go.
Evan Neal's
comeback player of the year.
Tay Banks turned into a star kick returner last year. I mean, look, whatever it takes to motivate you.
You stay on Banks' side, I'll stay on Evan's side, and we'll meet in the middle. And when you see me pancaking Banks all over training camp, and that guy's on the stretcher, not making the team, and Evan Neal's kicking ass.
I don't know, man.
I think it's gonna be fun. Me and Mac are gonna work that bet out.
I don't know, man. Money on Evan Neal, man. Woo! I got the
Come on, you're team Banks. I'm team Evan. You're team Banks.
Deontay Banks has a way better chance of making this football team than Evan Neal.
Absolutely.
I'm doing it.
At least as a punt returner and kickoff returner. Adam, I usually get a canoe and I paddle over your island when you started in, and I start living with you, and I'm like, I see your point, Adam. You will die on that island by yourself.
This is not about the island. This is not about the island. I'm not on an island. I'm on a trash barge right now. I'm on garbage.
Floated on a piece of log.
I'm telling you shit, and I'm telling you that it's pudding. It's not pudding.
Alex wants to place wages.
I'm just saying nobody has. We should place wages. We should place wages. Team Evan versus Deontay Banks. I know I'm going into the great abyss here. I'm going into the great abyss. I'm
going in deep waters too, but I mean, you're going like you said.
Right now. I am playing the
iceberg already. I can already see the little guys playing the violins on the back of the boat right now.
Exactly. That's me. Max at least getting the life preserver. Max at least getting he's pushing over one of those children and women and getting on the lifeboat. I'm sitting there going to be playing all the way down. Team Evan Neal, man. That's it. I'm planting my flag on this trash barge. I don't care who's not there. We are beating out Deontay Banks for a roster spot.
All right. I mean, I don't see it, but
I didn't even know how to move on after that one.
Well, we'll figure
it hot take. That's probably take of the year so far. I respect you, Adam, but you just had take of the year, hottest take of the year, and I'm going to be intrigued by this. I'm be watching this closely, and I'll be reviewing it as well.
He makes the team. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
This is a guy that hasn't even reached 50 in PFF rankings in all of his career. He averages 39.9 and 46.6. So, John, if you can turn it around, not only are you a very Hall of Fame coach, you might be one of the best coaches of all time if you can get Evan Neal to play football. That is amazing.
Come on, Evan.
I agree. You said you can get anything out of Evan Neal. You are an amazing coach.
I'm the only one on his island. I'm the only one on Team Evan. That's right. When all you haters get left behind and Evan Neal's a fucking Pro Bowl guard, you're going to be like, I know everyone's going to clown me anyways. I'm having fun, folks. I know he's probably not going to make the team, to be honest with you. But somebody's got to root for him because nobody else is. I've shit on the guy for 3 years. I'm going to be the anti-Daniel Jones here, and I'm going to get on the shitty fucking trash, and I'm going to tell you that I'm not sinking, and I'm going to go sink down with this trash. So, Evan Neal, don't let me down because I don't want to look like a fool, but I'm going to look like a fool anyways.
Don't let me down. Evan Neal, don't let me down. Did you even hear that statement? Evan Neal, don't let me down. Okay. That's all he's been doing is letting down since he's been stuck in the
Banks. Continue doing what you're doing, and you will not be on the team. Nobody just wants you in the kick return.
At least Tay Banks had one halfway decent season when he was a rookie. I mean, at least halfway decent. Evan Neal ain't even had that.
Best burger flipper there is. Team Evan Neal right here. I'm the only guy on his boat right now. I'm having fun. I don't normally go out on a limb. The Giants are back, people. I'm going to have fun with it because Evan Neal is going to make the team. 53-man roster over Tay Banks. Tay Banks, you're getting cut.
All right. It can both happen. It could both happen.
Like, if they're both gone, then we're both got egg on our face.
But all right, what was I talking about? Tyler Newton again? I mean, that was we kind of derailed from that a little bit.
Oh man!
Oh no, it's fine, and we can honestly open up that can of worms a little bit later and focus on mostly free agents because we were just talking about flipping burgers. Evan Neal, I love it. 11-6. We were just talking about Sonny and Styles. Sonny and Downs, and I just think both of them could be generational players. And I just like Caleb Downs a little bit more. I think he'll be a good fit. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love
this. Not me. The two reasons why about Downs for me, the degeneracy thing, that's not going away. All right, so that's something I want to make sure that I know. Second thing is the reason I wouldn't go for him over Styles is that we have more of a need at linebacker than I feel we have a need at safety. Being that the guy that Mac just said, Tyler Newton, is on the team. You drafted him in the second round, not saying that Caleb Downs is not going to be the next Ed Reed or whatever you envision him being, right? Troy Polamalu, name whatever, insert grade safety there. What I'm saying is sometimes you got to let the things that you purchased actually work for you. Otherwise you become a
develop.
Hoarder.
Yes.
And you just sit there with 4 fucking safeties and they never play and they go on to other teams and win Super Bowls and you're like, well, why didn't we play this guy? Because we didn't let our guy go. Do I like what Tyler Newton did last year? Absolutely not. But if we're giving fucking Tay Banks a chance, we're giving Tay Banks a chance to fucking get coached up, we might as well let Tyler Newton get coached up as well too and see if he can live up to a different defense and be more of a strong safety down the box where I think he excels more than being a free safety trying to roam and tackle Saquon Barkley in the open field. He needs to be a guy that can dart into the open lanes and go make tackles. I think he's better at the line of scrimmage or around that area than he was as a free safety. Now you can put Holland back at free safety, and I think he's better at being a more of the ball hawk thing. So I'm not saying don't get Caleb Downs. I'm just saying if I had a choice between Styles and Downs, I'm looking at my roster between Micah McFadden and Tremaine Edmonds. I could have next to him Sonny Styles. I already have Holland, who I spent a ton of money on, right, who I believe is going to be a good safety. And then I have Tyler Newton, who I spent high draft pick on, who I need to see develop. So if I pass on Downs, it's not because I don't like him. It's because I want to see the guy that I drafted in the second round and him contribute.
And I respect that. I respect that point 100, and I wouldn't be mad at either. Like after that combine, that basically sold me on Sonny. But I've just been a fan of Caleb Downs for a while now, and I just think he's always being talked about as the best player in college football, and this and that and this, and then finally we might be in a position to get him, and that's not to take away what Sonny can bring to this team. And we all seen what he did at the combine. This guy is a fucking machine, and especially with Edmonds alongside him and that line in front of him. That's fucking terrible. I love the sound of it. You're good. No, this is good. What's your no, you guys are good. You guys are good.
I meant to put the silence there. But
that's your phone?
Yeah, it's my phone. Yeah, that's my phone. It's a notification on my phone. No.
I thought you had a soundboard and didn't tell us anything.
No.
Man, Mac is up and now. She's fucking putting sound effects in when he doesn't like our take. Wah, 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 wah.
That's like, where's the blow horns?
Making us even more embarrassed. I'm like, every deal. He's like, wah.
I felt like I was on
Give me
Jeopardy.
the brown noise from the hockey game.
Yo, you know when you make you know how the award shows when they make a speech and they play music if you go too long? It's okay. Go ahead, Mac.
Maybe that's what we need to add. Maybe that's what we need to add to show sound effects. You know?
I mean, for real,
wow, yeah.
what it is, I mean, I wouldn't honestly, let's be fair, bro. I'm fine with any of the big three from Ohio State. You know what I mean? Would I be like really, really shocked if we took Jeremiah Love? I'd be extremely shocked, but would I ultimately be mad? Really, no. You know what I mean? But
love is him.
I don't know. How does BJ Robinson feel? Bijan Robinson. I mean, that's how I look at it. You know, like imagine Jackson Dart with a home run threat behind him, right? Like imagine that you're a defensive coordinator. You're sitting up there. You're oh, I got to cut this guy. Oh, fuck, they got Jeremiah Love in the backfield plus a running quarterback. Great, I'm fucking fucked.
I mean, I would be extremely shocked if we took him, but ultimately,
he put
up
200 yards on the SC.
Wouldn't be mad.
That season.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't really be mad. I'd just be shocked.
The only reason I'm leaning towards that is their free agency moves. It making me think maybe that if he fall, I'm not doing he came here on the 30th. Obviously, they mean that they like him, right? But if Arizona doesn't take him, because I think he's going to Arizona, that's where I feel he might go, or Tennessee. Those are the two spots I think he would go. I think the Giants would be a good shot. If you look at what they're doing, they're bringing Picard, and then you have, I mean, I like Scattermove, but let's be honest, he's a bell cow. He's not a home run threat. You know, neither is Tracy. Tracy's not a guy that's like explosive compared to this guy. You put this guy in the backfield with Jackson Dart, now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
I think that's what the kids say these days.
I mean, yeah. But, like, I mean, yeah, as long as you come out with, like, one of those guys, you know what I mean? Don't mess it up. Don't screw this up to a point where you don't get any of those guys. You know what I mean? You got to get at least one of them. Caleb Downs. The thing about the neat thing with Caleb Downs is that gives me the nightmares. Is like a little bit of word makes me a little worried is the Kenny Phillips thing. Yeah, exactly. It just gives me that old Kenny Phillips vibe where it's like, damn, this dude was so sensational, man, but he just could not stay healthy, man. When he got to the league, I just hope that wouldn't be a thing. That's the only thing. That's the only reservation with Caleb Downs. But otherwise, like Zion said, man, to me, he's a can't miss talent on the field, man. That dude he's legit, as legit as it gets. But I also, like most others, I've kind of just fallen in love with Sonny Styles, man, and the idea of having a guy like that can end up potentially coming in and being like one of the next great linebackers in this league. And one of the next great linebackers and a great lineage of linebackers for the New York Giants as well. I mean, exactly. I'd love to.
Was the last time the last time was Corliss Banks since we drafted a linebacker?
In the first round, yes, absolutely. Corliss Banks.
I don't know why we don't put any resources in there. Like what the hell?
Yeah, that's so true. It's such an important piece. Well, we just signed Jermaine, but like as far as draft assets,
potential Hall of Fame linebackers, they have Harry Carson, they have Lawrence Taylor, obviously, and you could argue Carl Banks is a Hall of Famer, depending on who you talk to and what time of day, right? Then you have Gary Reasons, guys like that. You have Alex Van Pelt, who was also a good linebacker in his day, not a Hall of Famer. Those two guys weren't, but they were solid. And that's the lineage that we had.
Pepper Johnson.
Yeah, Jesse Armstead was a solid linebacker for the Giants. I mean, you can't count him out. A guy who came out of nowhere. I loved Jesse Armstead growing up. I couldn't watch LT, but I got to watch a crazy hair on fire Jesse Armstead play every Sunday for at least 5 or 6 seasons. So, and then they got Antonio Pierce, who kind of wasn't drafted by the Giants, but was brought in and kind of changed everything for them. Hopefully, the way Tremaine Edmonds will do, what you're hoping that he'll do. But Sonny Styles to me brings, I need a guy on the defense with edge. We need a guy that's going to go over there and kick your fucking ass, man. Like, that's what I want. I'm not saying you have to be LT. Not what I'm saying. But Brian, when you look at Brian Burns, very reserved guy. like you could just tell like he's emotional, but like I don't when I see Brian Burns, I'm not like banging my head against the wall. Like when I saw Antonio Pierce or Jesse Armstead or guys like that, right? Where I'm like, oh my God, this guy's fired up. We're gonna have a fucking amazing game. Sonny Styles can be a tone setter and really dictate what goes on the defense. I just think while I like Caleb Downs, I already have safeties that I've invested a ton of money in. And I'm gonna and maybe I'll regret it and he goes on to be a Hall of Famer. I'm gonna take the chance on the kid on a position I haven't taken a chance on in 40 years, 30 years, whatever it is.
And I do respect that. Absolutely.
I mean,
you guys want to know a hot take? I'll tell you guys a hot take. And it's not a hot take, but it might be a take that you guys want.
Yeah.
Trade back. Yeah. What if you trade back, right? Okay. But what if we trade back to like maybe like 8, right? 8 or 9, right? And then like what if just hypothetically Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs is there? I'm taking Mekhi Lemon over Cornell Tate, and that's just my honest
opinion. I'm taking the Miami lineman because my guy Evan Neal's going to be one guard, and I'm going to need my Miami lineman to be the other guard, and I'm going to have the most massive offensive line in the history of football. And Max laughing because he doesn't believe me. But when you see All Pro next to Evan Neal,
now you're just taking it way too far. Way too far. All Pro. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sure, Evan Neal. This dude did not suit up for one game last season.
So he's healthy.
He was not on the active roster for one game last year.
The secret weapon is coming out this year, man. You're gonna see. We're gonna fucking deploy him in the backfield. We're gonna make him our left guard, and he's gonna
fucking healthy scratch. He was a healthy scratch for 17 games. 17 games. He was a healthy scratch.
You're gonna be eating crow next year when we're paying mega millions for Evan Neal because he had a Pro Bowl year. All you haters out there, all you Evan Neal haters. I'm getting a poster tonight.
You're gonna get an Evan Neal poster?
I'm that excited.
So good, guys. All right, guys. Let's start with Mac. What is, and it doesn't have to be on this list because like there's so much people that signed. But what is some of your favorite free agent signings?
And that debauchery that went on.
Oh yeah, Max Crosby. Yeah, let's talk about. Let's Max. You know what? Yeah, honestly, what's your guys' thoughts on that Max Crosby Baltimore Ravens thing? So this is just gonna be my thoughts. The Baltimore Ravens are stupid because, obviously he's not gonna pass a physical. Right. Obviously, Daniel Jones can't pass a physical right now, and the coach know that, but they still re-signed him. So I just don't understand that move. And yes, they get Trey Hendrickson, and I think he's absolutely awesome. I think the Bengals are stupid for not investing in the defense, and I like that signing, but I mean, I don't understand that shit. Like the Baltimore Ravens, that was a dumb move. Go ahead, AC, and then come back to Mac.
But quickly, Mac, I think they sabotaged the deal when they found out that Trey Hendricks was available. That's what I feel. And the reason is just like you said, it's not like they knew this motherfucker wasn't going to be healthy, right? You did that because you didn't think you were getting Trey Hendricks because all signs pointed to him going to the Cowboys at the beginning of this free agency period. So they probably thought, we're out of the running, let's go make a move. What sucks is now the Raiders, who had capital that they were shopping with, right? I have 2 first-round picks now. What if they had traded those first-round picks immediately for somebody else? Like, what if they had turned around or were waiting to shop those picks, to go? You don't have that anymore. Thankfully, they were under the cap, and they get their guys back. Now they're probably going to have to convince Crosby to stay with all the moves that they made. They seem like, why would I want to not leave? Now I have Devin, what's his name? God, the linebacker. They have Quay Walker and the other kid. I forget what his name is, the middle linebacker from Georgia. You know what I'm talking about.
No, Kobe Dean.
Kobe Dean. You have Dean and you have Walker, 2 big linebackers, playmakers on your defensive line. Maybe you'll stay. So I think the Ravens botched it and sabotaged it. That's what I believe. Because once they found out that Trey Hendricks was available and they can keep their draft picks, they were like, fuck this. He failed the physical because, just like you said, Zion, the guy was injured. What the fuck did you think he was going to do? He's coming off an injury. And you're like, well, whoop, whoop. He failed the physical. Like, how dumb do you have to look? Like, come on. You think Daniel Jones is healthy? The guy has a broken leg and a fucking Achilles, and somehow he still makes $50 million a year.
Yeah, let's go, DJ.
Look, yeah, I mean that whole thing was a mess, man. And I mean, I really honestly, it's just either way. I really don't, but it was a mess. The fact that you can, like, I think I'm kind of with Adam right there. Probably just feels kind of like suspect, like you said, like more or less. The way how quickly they signed Trey Hendrickson right after it, like I mean, it was like they already had that thing ready, warmed up and ready. You know what I mean?
They didn't let the body get cold.
Exactly.
The plan was like Trey was supposed to go with the Cowboys, but then the Ravens told him that they're gonna sign Max. So Trey's like, "Oh yeah, I want to go play with Max." So they're supposed to have both of them, but they backed out of Max. That's why Trey was already. They was working on both of them at the same time.
Wow.
Then how does Trey feel? You sign expecting to play for Max, but on the other side of you is Max. You signed there thinking Max is gonna be there.
It looked like. That's not how it looked in the NFL, and that's not how the NFL portrayed it. The NFL portrayed it as if they were getting Max. They put the little GIF up with him in the Ravens uniform, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, look what the Ravens did!" Blah blah blah, and it's all over the news blotter. And then 3 seconds later, it's like, "Well, he failed the physical," and everyone's like, "Wait, but wasn't his knee injured?" Like, duh! Didn't we have the controversy? I'm sorry, I can't believe that the Ravens were that stupid to tell me, we didn't know Trey Hendricks. We're negotiating with Trey Hendricks and didn't know that Trey Hendricks was available. Like, give me a break. They went around and they turned that guy and signed him a 4-year, $112 million deal, whatever the fuck it was, like an instant. And it just looks bad on your part when you're standing there and you turn around and that's what you're doing. That's it. Like, you didn't even let the body go cold and say, "Hey, we're gonna go shop around." No, you're like,
it was like almost immediately.
You're like, "Oh, by the way, Trey, come on through the door. We have you behind curtain number 1." They were just like, "Open curtain number 1." You know what I mean? There's Trey Hendricks.
Oh my God.
Oh man. What are some free agents that you did like? It may not be on this list, Mac, but is there any free agents that stood out to you that went to a team that you think they're gonna really improve the team or improve on that team? I have two. I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say Kyler Murray as a bridge quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I absolutely think that's a great signing for them. He's not gonna be probably Kyler Murray. I think he's gonna be an open competition. He signed with
the Vikings.
I think that's going to be a good competition. It doesn't stop them from attacking that quarterback position in the 3rd or the 4th round and get someone else in here. I think the Vikings is a good team. They're just missing the quarterback. And then I absolutely love. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. Just won the Seahawks with the Seahawks, the running back. He went to the Chiefs. I think that's Walker to the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are missing a steady ground game as of recently because of the injuries upon their running backs, and now they get a guy in his prime, a guy that's just off of a Super Bowl. Yeah, right there, Kenneth Walker, like Adam said. I like those two. Those two kind of stick out to me, but there's a handful of signings that stuck out as well. I'm kind of mad at the Patriots. I really wanted Dobbs. Mad at the Patriots for that one. But
the Panthers did Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips. I think that's solid for them.
Mm-hmm.
To get 2 starters in the front 7.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Chubb to Buffalo. That's kind of interesting. Buffalo keeps getting these like recycled fucking passes. I'm sorry. That's they got fucking Bradley Chubb, Joey Bosa. Like, next thing you know, they're going to tell me trade for Khalil Mack and shit.
What you guys think about Mike Evans to San Francisco? I think that's a great signing for them. Obviously, some people may look at it like, why would you pay him that much money? But if you think about it, you pay him that much money because the guy had 12,000-yard seasons. And yes, he was injured last year, but I think him in San Francisco under Kyle, I absolutely love. I'm just a big Mike Evans fan. It's mostly
pay him that much money because he's earned it. Point blank.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
He's earned it. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot, future first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, he's earned it. Point blank and period. He's gotten to that point where that's a level of respect. You're not going to just bring Mike Evans in and just think you're just going to give him peanuts. You know what I mean? You Mike Evans, man. You got to pay for those services, man.
Facts.
But
I don't know how I feel about it really. I like it, I guess, but I don't know how they're going to utilize him, because if they're going to be a run heavy team, then mold. Do I think he's going to get 1,000 yards? I don't know, right? Because this is the first time they're going to have a legit weapon since Brandon Ayuk, right? And
Stupid
now they're going to pair
Ayuk.
him with Ricky Parasol. They're going to have a Parasol on him and Kittle. I do like that on paper, so we'll see if that can go. But I hope he gets 1,000 yards. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A move I did like, another move I like low key that I did like is the trade Pittsburgh acquiring Michael Pittman, man.
Pittman, yeah.
Pairing him up with DK
No
Metcalf. I mean, the quarterback situation is we don't know something there. I guess suppose I don't know what's Aaron Rodgers doing. What is he doing?
Well, they got Aaron Rodgers. No, stop.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, is he gonna hold him hostage all summer too? Is he gonna hold him hostage all summer?
Cabo or something like that. And then Cabo right now eating mushrooms, cave diving.
He's doing how does he? You know, he does historic trips. Goes into historic rooms in the off season.
One thing about what we saw last year is, I mean, he can spin the football still. Yeah, he can still spin the ball, man. Like I said, adding Pittman to that receiving room with DK Metcalf. That's two legit one right there, man. So I kind of low key like that's the move that I like. I actually like that move for Pittsburgh and see what they can do with it, man.
I think the Raiders had a amazing free agency. Outside of them kind of have to juggle in some money now because of that Max Crosby, but that Tyler to cement one of the best safety centers in the league.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm sorry. That contract to me is just. I like Tyler Linderbaum, but come on, that contract is out of control, man.
Definitely
that
overpaid.
Contract is out of control.
I don't
but
think
they are getting Mendoza. They are getting Mendoza, so they really wanted to make sure. They probably outbid everybody, and they just wanted to make sure that they really had someone in front of him that can. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I thought about it when I seen that contract.
Well, I mean, look, something works out, but that contract is just crazy.
We'll see how it's structured, though.
Because he gets 21, he gets 27 his first year. No. That's not right.
I know Matt's saying that you don't pay a center that much money, but I also see what the Raiders are doing, where you're trying to say we're investing in our future, and it starts with the center position. I also think you have to include Max Crosby in their free agency because they were going to get rid of him. And all of a sudden, miraculously, he's back in your locker room. Now it's up to Tom Brady and whoever the coach is down there. I forget who the coach is.
Kubiak.
Kubiak
or something.
Kubiak. I said Kubiak. Kubiak, yeah.
Kubiak is an offensive guy.
Kubiak.
And he might be able to convince, him and Tom Brady to say, look what we did on the defense. Look what we did on the offensive line with Tyler Linderbaum. We're about to draft our franchise quarterback. I know that we were going to get rid of you, and as much as, you might want to leave, do us a favor. Think about staying here, right? Think about being with this team and being part of this Raider franchise. We can make it worth your while, and you just got to repair that thing. And if it does fall through, I hope it works out for the Raiders where he actually gets to stay now and not go to the Ravens. As for the Ravens, I'm not trying to hate on them, but I feel like the Ravens are rubbing it in people's faces. Like, we don't need, John Harbaugh. We're going to do all this and that and the other thing. And that's why I feel like they're doing. I mean, that's the impression I'm getting is like they're trying to really get away from the old school that they were and be this new school, because I don't think they would have done that in the Harbaugh era. I don't think they would have traded back for a guy and say, sorry, he's damaged goods. They would have been a little bit more forthcoming. But they've done everything that's just shady that what they did to the Raiders. Now, granted, the Raiders have Max Crosby now, so it's a win for them. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. For me, the one thing I am sad about is Romeo Doubs. I was really interested in him with the Giants, but he goes to the Patriots. We'll see how that works out. Let's see who else is there. I mean, there's a lot of guys that it wasn't like wow, but it was just like
Curious to
we
see
got to talk
what.
about trade of Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Like that's something that we needed to talk about. I think the Rams are trying to go for it. As you can see, they have some corners on there and some guys that they signed. But I really do think the Rams made one of the biggest moves of the offseason with that trading for an all-pro corner to come in. You got to think that this is their shot, right? Matthew Stafford's coming back. They got a couple guys on offense that they can bring in. They still have the Adams and Puka Nacua. They brought in some. I think they brought in some offensive line help as well, and now they brought in the best corner on the market. So I thought of all the moves, I thought that was a blockbuster one that might change the landscape of the NFC West. When you think about who's in that division and what they need to win, you need to beat the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks have one of the best receivers in the league. We couldn't cover him worth of shit last year, and that's why we lost fucking game in the last game of the year because we couldn't cover him at the end of the game. So let's go get Trent McDuffie, and maybe we're the ones in the Super Bowl, not Seattle.
I like that move by the Rams too, and I like McDuffie as a cornerback from the Chiefs. That's an absolutely great move. Devin Lloyd, like we mentioned, Panthers. I believe you mentioned that.
You know what my favorite signing is? Defense. Geno Smith to the Jets, baby. Bring him home. Bring him home.
You know what? You know what shocked me? Real fast. Look how much moves Arizona Cardinals made. Wait, never mind.
What?
But it was something else. I misspoke.
You got Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. No, because it wasn't. It was like one of these teams I was looking at. They made like no moves. I'm like, well, how does your fan base feel? But
actually, the one other move that I absolutely love. Hope the young man succeeds is Malik Willis down there in Miami. Man.
Yes, in Miami.
Yes, an opportunity, not being brought in as a bridge quarterback, he's coming in to potentially be their future, to be their guy. You know what I mean? So he's getting the shot these last couple of years in Green Bay. He's not there. I can't imagine. They're bringing the reports I've heard. They're bringing him in to be the guy, like I said, not a bridge, to be the guy, to be the long-term solution at quarterback. And I think he can get it done, man. Look, Green Bay, if nothing else, that franchise has a history of developing quarterbacks. As we see, I can go back to, myself, I can go back to the Magic Man in the 80s, to moving on to Brett Favre, moving on to Aaron Rodgers, moving on to Jordan Love. Malik Willis been there backing up Jordan Love the last couple of years. Really learned how to play the game, how to play the position of quarterback. As you saw when he got his opportunities on the field, when Jordan Love was hurt, they did not lose a beat with Malik Willis out there on that offense, man. Man goes out there and succeeds down in Miami, man, and makes the most of this opportunity, man.
I know the salary cap is basically like we can move it around, and there is still a lot of players available. We can always restructure contracts and get some cap room on. Is there any players that you guys see on this list that you guys might want to bring in? One name I know he plays. I know we just signed Newsom, but if we can get, I believe, if Devin White, Tre'Davious White. He's an elder veteran player. If we can get him on a good salary, nothing too expensive, I think he'll be a good fit for our cornerback position as well. So that's something that even Trevon Diggs, I mean, like, obviously he's going to cost way more money, but because he's much more younger. But I wouldn't mind me getting Tre'Davious White in here, at least getting some depth in that position. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I think Trevon Diggs stays in Green Bay. I think you are right. I don't think we're going to move around too many contracts. But a lot of the things that we're going to do are probably like these low risk, high reward Greg Newsom signings where if he does well, great. We look like a genius and we can keep the guy around. If not, no skin off our back, So, it doesn't really matter who's available. At the end, I would like to see them get another receiver as well. We'll see what happens there. They signed Aaron Stinney back, so they have some depth at the line position. Right now, I think that's what they're going to do. there's one guy they need to cut. That's Graham Gano. So let's see if they can do that. But the rest of the guys,
I think Alex just announced that they might have. I could look into that. He just announced something about Graham Gano on the episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I don't really have anything else like Wyatt Teller. I'm 31-year-old lineman out. I'd rather just sign Stinney back. Like if we're gonna waste money doing that, let's just do that. Tyreek Hill, I'm surprised Tyreek Hill's not getting any burn.
Because he's Tyreek Hill at this point, and I think people are just tired of dealing with the headache that is Tyreek Hill, man. I think honestly, man. After a while,
well, him and Stephon Diggs.
I mean, after a while, just people just don't want to put up with it anymore. You know, you just had enough. Like enough is enough. Because didn't he? I don't know. Didn't he just get in trouble for something else again? Some other craziness. I don't know. I can't remember, but maybe somebody else.
Is the walking reality TV show in New York? He'd be in so much trouble in New York. But I'm just saying, it's just odd to see some of these stars like nobody. Like the second wave of free agency is going to be interesting to see. And I think they're still waiting for some salary caps and trades and things to kind of settle down, and they'll figure it out. But I really don't have much on this, you know.
What you guys thoughts about bringing Delvin Thomason back? Delvin Thomason.
I think
from Arizona, bringing it back.
I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I thought he signed somewhere. But
he might have.
I agree. He'd be a good solid starter next to Dix, and then you can move Darius Alexander around and be a solid backup and learn. We need to stop the run. The focus has to be stopping the run. So, he can stop the run. Tremaine Edmonds can then be open to do what he needs to do because your middle linebacker needs to be clean to make plays. And, I want to see what their defense the Giants are going to kind of run because to me, I was talking to somebody and it's like, somebody mentioned Robbie Okereke, and they're like, he's a good weak side linebacker. And I'm like, yeah, nobody knows what a weak side linebacker is anymore. They force him to be in the middle because they play this 3-4 hybrid type of role. And I'm like, maybe people need to go back to it strictly a 4-3 and strictly a 3-4 so you can get guys that fit roles better. I think what we're doing now is we're trying to get so many hybrid tweener type players that we're kind of – it's almost – there's on defense, it's just going to be a position. You're just going to be playing DB or you're going to be playing front seven. They're not even going to say linebacker or anything anymore because the guys are all going to weigh roughly the same pounds. But if you're going – it's like when you go shopping for a car, right? You do all this research. You want the specs, the sound system, the sunroof, all this stuff. You read the dimensions and everything. It's the same thing when you're going through the Rolodex of that is these players. You want to look at their measurables and see where they fit. But if you're going to put an Isaiah Simmons, let's say, guy really doesn't have a position, and say, well, I'm going to use him as a weak side linebacker or a strong side or a corner. You don't really get him a position because you don't really have a type to follow it. I think measurables do mean something in certain positions. And that's why I love what Sonny Styles brings to the table because 6'5", 240 pounds, runs a fucking 4.4. That's the guy I wanted my middle linebacker. But that's all I got for tonight. I don't really got anything else.
Well said.
If you want to talk about a couple more receivers, guys that brought up like Tyreek Hill and all that stuff, but I'd rather just pass on a guy on the headaches like that, man, at this point. Because obviously I know they got game. I know they can make the big explosive plays, but I remember the injury Tyreek Hill is going to be coming back from as well. That people I think are getting that. That's another reason why I'm sure there's been not as much interest in him. That injury was horrific that night. It was a terrible injury. So that's just something that I'm not sure if a guy can come back and be the same after something like that. But a couple other guys out there, if you want to maybe take a shot at like a Darnell Mooney or Hollywood Brown still out there. A couple guys like that come in and also add something to the receiver room. To me, that's more realistic options at this point after losing out on guys like Dobbs and whatnot. So that's about all I got to him. Actually,
well said. Me as well. As we move forward into the weeks, we'll start getting into more of our draft coverage and do our draft focus upon with baseball is about to kick off. WrestleMania is right around the corner, and we're involved some UFC as well. So we'll get back out into other sports. But as for now, I'm gonna pass the hosting duties back over to Mac to end us out. I just want to say from me, thank you guys all for tuning in. Back over to you, Mac.
Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in once again to another edition of the Premium Takes Podcast. I am Mac the Giants fan with my guys, the Horsemen, Zion Venom, Adam Costas, man. Throw the fours up for our guy, the one and only NYG Jeffy T, man. Always going to be here with us, man. And we'll be back next week. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, ring that bell at all three of our channels, man. Mac the Giants fan, Zion Venom, and Adam Costas, man. See y'all next week.